know we're a ways out, but to those Democratic voters who are fond of the former vice president, what would your message be to them?
It's going to be a really long election. As the voters of America always do, I would urge that you listen closely to what the candidates have to say and make your decision based on who you believe can best represent our country and the future of our country.
All right, welcome back. That was brand new reaction from Kamala Harris on Joe Biden getting in the presidential race. Thanks to our own Vaughn Hilliard for grabbing that interview. And yes, okay, it's been about a week now since Biden put the video up. Now we've had some Biden rallies out there. And guess what? With a week of Biden in the race, now we have some polls. Now we have some numbers. Now we have a sense of how Democrats are reacting to this former vice president entering the race after months, really years of rumors and speculation and all of that. Now he's there. What do the numbers look like? So first, to put this in some perspective, let me start right here. These are a set of numbers you're familiar with. This was the average last week, the polling average on the eve of Joe Biden's announcement. We've been seeing numbers like this all year. We called him the weak front runner, high 20s, Bernie Sanders nipping on his heels. You had Kamala Harris, Buttigieg had been moving up. That's the picture we were familiar with. Now, in the last 24 hours, we have three brand new national polls on the Democratic side, and they paint a different picture. Here, Quinnipiac, just this afternoon, Biden, 38%. Warren, by the way, that's not Sanders in second place in this poll. There's Elizabeth Warren in a distant second place at 12%. Biden opening up, though, a 26-point lead in this poll over his nearest rival, up near 40%. Another new poll out. Again, in the last 24 hours, this one coming out late last night, Morning Consult, Biden at 36%, a 14-point lead over Sanders. Again, no, Warren in third place. They're distant, but in third place. And the third new poll, this one from CNN out this morning, there's Biden, his highest number yet, 39% in the CNN poll, a 24-point lead over Bernie Sanders. Again, Warren in third place right there. So a serious announcement bump for Joe Biden. You see these for a lot of candidates, but this is a very strong one. Real distance here that he's opened up now after this announcement. Bernie Sanders also pretty big drop for him in these polls, and Warren may be making a little bit of noise as well. Some interesting inside the number breakdown we can take you through. Where is the source of Biden's strength? This is the Morning Consult poll, but we're seeing splits like this in all the polls right now. See, with white voters, Biden doing well, double-digit lead. How about black voters, though? Check this out. Biden doing almost 10 points better with black voters right now than he is with white voters. And again, we've been seeing this in a number of polls. Strength for Biden with black voters, with non-white voters. Take it a step further. How about we add gender into it with white men? And sort of conventional wisdom says, oh, yeah, that's going to be Biden's strongest constituency. Well, he's up 8 points among white men in this poll. How about black women, though? Look at this. Almost 30-point advantage for Joe Biden in this poll among black women. So he's doing extremely well with non-white voters, also better with women than maybe some of the conventional wisdom suggested. Another breakdown we can show you here. Move to the next one, age. These are folks under 50 years old. There's Joe Biden, 25%. This is Sanders, about 9 points behind him. Go to the other side of the party, though. We spent a lot of time talking about Democratic parties becoming younger, more millennial. There's still about half of it's over 50 years old. And look at that. Joe Biden, 48%, almost 50% of the vote, 50 plus. So there's a very clear age divide. Biden leads with both groups, but there are a lot of 50-plus Democrats. Biden is absolutely cleaning up with them right now. So, again, we will see. He's got a bounce here. It may recede. He may go back to the 20s. He may fade out even more. Remember Rudy Giuliani? But if Biden can stabilize in the mid to high 30s, getting near 40%, then he is stronger than the kind of frontrunner we've been talking about him as. That's not where Jeb Bush was. It's not where Mitt Romney was. Not where John Kerry was. They didn't get up to 40% at this point in the race. So if Biden can stick around there for a little while, that's the big test right now, then maybe conventional wisdom on him, maybe it underestimated him. We will see.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.